For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. All week long, DJ Envy has been trending on social media, and that's because of his alleged involvement in a real estate Ponzi scheme. Now, for the last several years, both DJ Envy and his former business partner, Pina, have hosted seminars with the goal of teaching people how to invest in real estate. Unfortunately, that's not what people got, as some have claimed their money was taken by Pina and they've seen no return. Well, last night, Pina, who's also known as Flippin' NJ online, has finally broken his silence on Instagram Live when it comes to these allegations, where prosecutors claim he defrauded dozens of people out of millions of dollars. During the live, Pina would defend Envy and also had this to say.
In all these lawsuits, these 20 lawsuits, DJ Envy was never in the room. What you people gotta understand is that DJ Envy is so successful in hip hop that as far as a DJ, that people just don't like him. DJ Envy's attorney, his defense that DJ Envy is a victim, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Me and him were partners in the real estate seminars. We were partners in a couple real estate transactions. That's it. He's not a victim. He was my partner. He was an investor. You got this guy, Tony the Closer. I had one lawsuit. Now I have 20 ever since this guy started bashing me. Jose the Credit Dude, the biggest piece of shit in the world, this guy's a fucking scumbag, goes on Tony's page in May, says, Caesar owes me $200,000. He didn't pay me. Yet, Jose the Credit Dude, I have the receipts that I paid you. Now you go in May and you make up this lie. Tony the Closer does not give a fuck about victims. All the money that he made from the t-shirts that he sold, he is not donating to victims. He's not giving them money. He's just in it for the clicks, just like everybody else.
Now, Pina was previously arrested and charged with wire fraud for his alleged role in the scheme. But according to Up Rocks, back in May of this year, Pina was accused on Instagram of using a well-known disc jockey and radio personality to fool people into investing in properties with the intention of flipping them, only to keep the profits for himself. Well, it didn't take long for those accusations to turn into lawsuits, and DJ Envy is named in 9 of the 20 lawsuits currently against Pina. It's now clear that Envy is a well-known radio personality tied to the case. A few weeks ago, Envy would address the accusations on The Breakfast Club, where he said, Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But I do understand how people feel if they did give him money, because I gave him a lot of money and I didn't see a dollar of return. But for anybody to say that I was involved, that's totally not true. Now, the reasons why I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing and in generational wealth. On Tuesday, XXL reported that Envy plans to fully cooperate with authorities during this investigation. Envy's lawyer, Massimo D'Angelo, says the current co-host of The Breakfast Club was a victim himself in Pina's real estate scheme. D'Angelo told XXL, DJ Envy is a victim of the purported fraudulent real estate scheme and sits in the same shoes of the other victims. And of course, he will assist and cooperate to get his investment back, along with those of the other alleged victims. Last week, it was reported that the federal agents from the FBI had visited the iHeartRadio office in New York, where The Breakfast Club is recorded and filmed. There, they had reportedly confiscated equipment in connection with the investigation. According to XXL, Envy's attorney denies that. Many would also see a job posting for a co-host position on The Breakfast Club and suggest that DJ Envy being tied up with the investigation is possibly a reason why iHeartRadio would make that position available. In addition to this, jokes would begin to circulate online of several people predicting this outcome for Envy and Pina, including Joe Budden, Donnell Rawlings, and several others. Joining me today, I have our very own You Be the Judge analyst, Joya, joining me to talk all about this case. Now, Joya, this is You Be the Judge. I think it's perfect to have you for this one. You be the judge. You tell me, what do you think? What do you think with DJ Envy? A lot of people are saying that he's guilty. What are your thoughts?
Right. So I do want to briefly talk about the rise of real estate scams have been skyrocketing since the recession of 2008 and then shortly after the pandemic. And it's really sad because usually it's a confidence man or woman, usually called con man or woman, that preys on people of either a lower socioeconomic status or higher socioeconomic status. It's never usually the middle class. Now, I'm not saying that the middle class cannot be tricked or scammed into some of these practices, but there is usually more to lose when you are on a fixed income and are comfortable than an unlimited income and looking to invest or looking for a come up. Now, the defendants in this case are the companies, as we know, owned by Pina and also Envy. And the claims are anywhere between the violation of Jersey consumer fraud, breach of contract, negligent misrepresentation, securities fraud, and conspiracy to commit the aforementioned frauds. Now, good thing for Envy, the majority of these claims are against Pina. Now, DJ Envy claims to be a victim himself and also by his attorney. And in some sense, he was, because he was the face, right? He was the celebrity used to draw people in. But I still believe it doesn't make him less guilty, because with any investment opportunity, you are supposed to do your own research. And if things are not adding up, you definitely don't agree to it, or you get out as soon as possible. So that is my take. And then I think about the seminars were held in New Jersey, and I believe Patterson, New Jersey, which has very poor areas. And this reeks of scamming your own community. But DJ Envy, he says he's Black, right? We need a 23andMe on that. But I don't see how buying a foreclosed home is helping the community unless you are helping the family or person who lost it in the first place. So those are just a few of my comments and thoughts.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people are feeling like, whether DJ Envy is guilty, whether he knew exactly what was happening, he still gave a platform. He used his platform over at the Breakfast Club and a lot of people are saying like, hey, I only trusted, Caesar because he was on the Breakfast Club, because you showed me, who he was, because you were attached to it. And a lot of people are saying he needs to step up and take accountability for that. But then also people, saying that they're seeing this job posting on iHeartRadio, showing that, they're looking for one co-host, and I think that is up as well, but there's a second position open. Do you think that this investigation should affect DJ Envy's position at the Breakfast Club?
Right. So, quick story. I used to work for iHeartMedia in Memphis. And so whenever you are influencing the masses, you have a responsibility. If you look at the lawsuits, the companies, the shell companies that they use had multiple names, which is a strong indicator that fraud is happening. That is Scammy 101. Just change the name of your company. And I was looking through a couple of the flyers that they had, and the seminars were in the hundreds to attend, and some of the seminars had VIP packages. Now, why do you need a VIP package when you are offering financial literacy to help your community? The plaintiffs, the victims, they were investing $10,000 to up to $200,000, and many of them never saw the 20 to 45% promised return. This was a Ponzi scheme. And the only people that were getting rich were Envy and Pina, and if they had any other silent investors. But I know Joe Budden was not a silent investor. He has made that very clear that he wasn't an investor.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Joe Budden, there were a couple people, you know how the internet does, Joya. They're going to have a field day no matter how serious, no matter if it's playful. So I want to take a look at some of these responses by people, and we'll come back and I want to get your reaction. Let's take a look.
Caesar is flipping NJ is my partner in New Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units in New Jersey and all throughout the country.
Caesar was in prison before.
Caesar was in prison. Caesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
So with Caesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? You don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me the game of how to do it without using minimal money. When I first got into real estate, I called 3 people. I called Clue, I called Fabulous, I called Joe Budden, my Desert Storm family. And I said, hey, guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme, and I was going to go to jail.
I don't want to sound foul. I don't want to sound foul.
That's about that jail shit with y'all. And then you listen to Tony the Closer talk about what he found in Caesar's accounting, what he was doing with the money. He said it was some real fat nigga shit. Nigga was going from
Domino's to Dairy Queen to Taco Bell to Burger King to the juice bar to the candy shop to the Kit Kat flagship store. Who even knew that Kit Kat had a flagship?
I'll be like, look, y'all, I'm popping tags. That's all. What's the problem? Why are you offended?
I'm not offended.
Why? Where's the snapping?
Thing.
No, there's no Harlem Queens. It's about we have a different taste level.
We have different.
You like a
opinions.
boss, I don't.
It's not a matter about having a boss. You
Yes,
just
it
keep
is.
saying
In
boss
my
because
matter,
millions
it
of
is. It
people
doesn't
have a
matter to
boss.
you.
Because I have enough
I
investments.
don't.
I don't need
Investments.
a boss,
You don't own
enjoy
nothing. You don't
this.
own nothing.
Is these what do you mean?
Investments. You
don't
sound
know what I
smart to
own.
somebody dumb.
You sound
You
stupid.
have a
don't
boss.
know
What
I
are y'all
own.
arguing about? Do me a favor
Because
though.
you talk and you
In the
don't
mix of
even
this
know. You
conversation,
gotta do
don't
work,
tell me I
Danny.
sound stupid
You
because
do
now you
sound
disrespecting
stupid.
me.
No, you telling me I sound stupid.
Now, Joya, one thing about Joe Budden, people say a lot of things about Joe Budden, but he's gonna keep it real. For somebody to tell you like this is a Ponzi scheme and you're going to jail, what are your reaction after seeing it again?
If it feels too good to be true, it probably is. If you call up 3 people and 3 out of those people say, hey, I don't want to invest in that, you know, my heart goes out to the victims, the plaintiffs in this case, because, you know, DJ Envy and Caesar, they could be facing a lot of fees and fines. We already know that Pina has been arrested and released on $1 million bond. He's not allowed to leave New Jersey. And if convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison. Now, DJ Envy at this point, I haven't seen anything that points to serious jail time for him. We are still learning more. But I'm curious to see, you know, what our viewers think. I'm not a real estate lawyer. I work in policy and criminal justice reform, but he had so many signs. Joe Budden, DJ Clue, Tony the Closer. I watched that live with Tony the Closer, and he was going in on him. And Caesar, you know, not Caesar, but Envy was still defending Caesar. So that's where my heart is right now, the victims.
Yeah, now, something that you talked about was red flags. I'm interested to know, have you ever been, you know, scammed in any, because there's so many different ways that you can be scammed, right? I've had a friend that's been scammed on the phone by like a quote unquote bill collector where they ask for your information and things like that. Have you ever been scammed? And, or if not, please, if so, please tell me how, but if not, what are some of those red flags that have prevented you from being scammed?
Right. Financially, no. But I do believe about 10 years ago, it was this travel club, like, you should be here. And it was so many people saying, come to this seminar, invest $250 and you can travel around the world. You know, no shade to the people that did believe and traveled around the world. But I just did not believe that. I just did not believe all the signs. And I'm just not a big believer into using people's money who come from a lower socioeconomic status to build up a great company. I do not believe that. I do believe that our people need more financial literacy, but I don't believe that taking their money to build up this empire is the right way to go.
Absolutely. And like you said, and it's crazy, that travel club that you mentioned, I remember that. I remember going with a friend, and then as soon as they asked for money, I was like, it doesn't feel right. It feels too good to be true. I'm not understanding how 1 + 1 is equal to, like the math, as they say, the math wasn't mathing. So it's important to trust your gut. I also think too, and you mentioned this earlier, doing your own research, not being afraid to not make immediate decisions. Go home, talk to people, do your research, think about it, sleep on it. I'm not afraid to tell people with anything, hey, let me sleep on this for a second. Exactly. So,
and also
yeah,
one more thing, like I just have a real soft spot for people bringing in their friends and family and their grandmother that's 80 years old to invest her life savings. That's a huge red flag when you're asking. And a lot of some churches have done this, you know, asking these 80-year-old, 90-year-old members to just give away their life savings to invest in a building fund that a building has never been built. Like, those little things can be scams too. So I just say definitely place people around you who are thinkers. And like you said, Symphony, think on these things, sleep on it before you make a rash decision.
Absolutely. And before we close, I just want to make sure we say again, this is no victim shaming. Again, I agree with you. My heart goes out to the victims because I understand when you see somebody notable attached to something, it does make you trust it a little bit more. So completely understand that there. I do wish them the best, and I guess we'll continue to see how this unfolds. But Joya, as always, it is a pleasure having you on. You are a great mix of value and fun. So I love Wednesdays with you. What do you have coming up, and how can people keep up with all the amazing things that you have going on?
Right now, I'm doing some what I call policy roundtables and cohorts. I've had some really great meetings with Spelman. I'm looking to do some more meetings with colleges. It doesn't have to be in Atlanta. So if you are a student and you're interested in policy, please reach out to me on Instagram at @JusticeBay_ or Twitter at @JusticeBayJoya.
Well, again, thank you, Joya, for joining me. But you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of DJ Envy's former business partner, Cesar Pina, finally breaking his silence? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.